When thought, feeling, and emotion become one, then our outcome is accomplished. With that in mind, I'd like to go back and examine some quotes that I've found in some of the religious texts, perhaps a biblical text, maybe one of the Dead Sea Scrolls. In the book of James, in the King James Version of the biblical texts, the prayer made in faith will heal the sick. It's the faith that's already done. It's the faith that happened, and now this comes back to the two stories I shared with you this morning. The woman in the medicineless Chinese hospital with a 3-inch diameter cancerous tumor in her bladder that we watched in real time on a sonogram melt and disappear in 2 minutes and 40 seconds. The practitioners were embodying a thought, feeling, and emotion inside of themselves, and the outward reinforcement of that among themselves was them echoing the words, wasa, wasa. It's already done, already accomplished, already healed. It already happened. The healing was already accomplished, and now it was just a matter of time. The prayer made in faith will heal the sick. The example that I gave of the elderly man with his walker who missed the curb, crumpled into the parking lot with a gash just below his ear in the back of his head. And the woman that came over and stroked his wound only for a matter of moments. And it healed so completely, when the paramedics got there within 5 minutes, there was no wound. The blood remained on his neck, it was still staining his shirt, and there was no wound on his body. What did she do? She didn't buy into the illusion of what his physical body had shown him. The 3 Chinese practitioners didn't buy into the illusion projected through the body of the woman on the gurney in front of them. They knew that she is not cancerous, that she in her soul is whole and complete and as shiny and new as the day she burst forth from the heart of her Creator into this world. They knew that. And they also allowed for the possibility that through her choices of thought, feeling, emotion, breath, nutrient, and movement, her body is mirroring this illusion. So they didn't buy into the illusion. They created a new template. They said, already healed, already done. And that's what the woman did, as I spoke with her later, that healed the back of the man's neck. And here we see it now in a 2,000-year-old text. The prayer made in faith will heal the sick. If you wish, you can cure me. Matthew 8:14. If you wish, your wish becomes the thought, feeling, and emotion that's already done. Now, what I'll say next is key. All around the world, we have all heard the King James Reader's Digest condensed version, ask and you shall receive. For many people, they've tried that and they say prayers don't work. If your prayers have gone unanswered, this may shed some light and some insight into the reason why. Ask and it will be given unto you. What does that mean? When the translations were made from the original Aramaic and words were poorly translated, rearranged, and condensed, we lost a lot in those translations. Going back to the original Aramaic, retranslating without condensing, ask without hidden motive, and be surrounded by your answer. Be enveloped by what you desire, that your gladness be full. So far you have not done this, and your prayers have not been answered. Let me say that one more time. Ask without hidden motive. Be very clear of your intent. Why are you choosing to bring this prayer into fruition? Ask without hidden motive. Be surrounded by your answer. If you're asking for abundance, see abundance all around you because it's already there. Be enveloped by what you desire. Find that abundance, find that health, find that joy, peace. There's already peace in this world. Be enveloped by what you desire, that your gladness be full, and give thanks for what's there. And that's how we perpetuate and create it on larger and larger scales. And now, through the holographic model of consciousness, we know that every time one person shifts their viewpoint from saying this world is falling apart and is about to blow up in global war, and looking at all of the individual possibilities of where that may happen, as we allow ourselves to view the possibility that maybe those little skirmishes are the last vestiges of an old paradigm, of an old thought form, rearing its head, asking for a greater healing. Maybe that's what's happening right now. Give thanks for the peace that's already in our world. And we're told, and I'm seeing this happen. I've seen it happen in the corporate world, in individual departments. I've seen it happen in corporate boardrooms. I've seen it happen within organizations. And I believe I'm seeing it happen on a global level now. And that's why now is the key time. If we're ever going to embody these possibilities, now's the time to do it. Because you're the generation that's chosen to bridge this time, the ancients called no time, to create the template, the foundation, the building blocks for all that's about to be for this generation and for future generations. This is the legacy that we're creating in this moment. So we're invited to give thanks and create that peace from the peace that we already see. Be enveloped by what you desire, that your gladness be full. If we consider the components of prayer, thought, feeling, and emotion, each is a vibratory template. It's a pattern. If we could project our thought, feeling, and emotion into a substance, we can actually see the form, the shape of that vibration. So in your mind's eye, if you will consider each of them as a series of concentric circles, for example. A concentric circle of thought, one of emotion, one of feeling. Unless those three parameters of thought, feeling, and emotion, unless those concentric circles rest one on top of the other, on top of another, then they are not aligned. And this is what the ancients reminded us. They said, when thought, feeling, and emotion become one, that's when we empower our bodies, our will, our intent to create in our world. So as those concentric circles move into alignment, one over another, that is our thought, feeling, and emotion become as one. Sometimes maybe we move two out of the three together. Maybe feeling and emotion in our world have become so merged that we consider them as one. And what do I mean by that? Maybe feeling and emotion are aligned and thought isn't. Well, let me offer this. Each time someone asks you a question, maybe it's something as simple as, how do you feel this morning? First thing when you walk into work on Monday morning, how do you feel? And your thought is, I feel fine, and that's what you say. And your feeling and emotion are reeling from some deep personal experience that you've experienced over the weekend, okay? In that moment, you just dishonored. It's not right, wrong, good, or bad. It's simply a path. You've dishonored that alignment because your thought and what you shared didn't mirror the feeling and the emotion. So you have not aligned the thought, feeling, and emotion. If we view thought, feeling, and emotion as vibratory templates, and we think of them as a thing in that way, then it becomes clearer in our Western mind how they may have an effect on the world around us. So the question is, how do you do this? How do you do this thing? How do you align thought, feeling, and emotion in a world, in a society, and a culture that sometimes doesn't even support emotion as being discussed? How do we consider this as a technology? The Essenes, and again we go back to the clarity and the wisdom and the beauty of the words of the Essenes. They were so clear. They asked themselves precisely the same question 500 years before Christ. They asked themselves, how is it that we do this in our bodies? And what the masters of that time said to them is the beginning of a technology. Listen how clear, how concise, it's even in a specific order. When they said, how do we create thought, feeling, and emotion as a unified pattern? How do they become one in our bodies? The master said to them, first shall the Son of Man seek peace in his own body, in his emotions. The emotions are where we begin. For his body is as a mountain pond that reflects the sun when it's still and clear. And when it's full of mud and stones, it reflects nothing. We must find that peace in our emotions to begin with. And again, they equated body and emotions as very similar because it's through the body that we're experiencing our emotions. So first, we must find peace in our bodies. Then, and this is exactly the way they say it, then shall the Son of Man seek peace in his feelings. We call on the angel of love to enter our feelings, that they may be purified, and that all that was before impatience and discord be turned into harmony and peace. So feelings are next. Then, through our thought, then shall the Son of Man seek peace in his own thoughts. For there is no greater power in heaven and earth than the thought of the Son of Man. Though unseen by the eyes of the body, yet each thought has the mighty strength. Even such strength can shake the heavens. And they refer to this again and again and again. They remind us that the inconsequential, what we believe are the inconsequential moments of our mundane lives, the things often we take for granted, have dramatic repercussions throughout the other worlds, throughout the heavens.